Hello friends, so today we are gonna learn about JavaScript syntax. So it is very important video. It's going to be very important video. So actually you should watch all the videos from the playlist, but it's totally up to you where would you like to start. If you have a good level of understanding about JavaScript, then you can skip these tutorials, but this is the the base is very important to build any building. So you have to be a very strong grip on the basics so that you can actually be very concise with the programming and you can get to the point very quickly. So today we are going to learn JavaScript syntax. So actually I'm going to rename it as JavaScript syntax, and then I'm going to open it. I'm actually creating again and again the folder, changing the folder name and renaming the files. You see that I am dealing with you like you are a very beginner. I know you are expert, I know you are intermediate level, I know different audience are watching these tutorials, but I actually go through from very beginning to very end of each tutorial. So this is the benefit of this channel. Okay, so I'm going to open it with code editor and wait for it. So let me rename the title of index.html that we wrote print in the last tutorial. So I'm going to write syntax. Okay, so this is our topic. Today's topic is syntax, and I'm going to remove this unnecessary things, the code. So in JavaScript there are a lot of data types you see in your web pages, and then there are a lot of variables, and there are a lot of method ways you can declare a variables, and there are a lot of other things, other words that you actually usually heard, like concatenations and keywords. So today we will look on the basic syntax, how our JavaScript will work. So there are a lot of data types. So data types are actually the type of a data. So it's actually the type of a data. So there are a lot of data types. The first data type is string. So you can actually search it from internet. There are a lot of data types, but today we are going to just look on two data types, that is string and number. So this is a string, so actually this is a string and this is a number. So number is not in quotations, the first thing, and the second thing, number can be a floating point number or a decimal number. So it can be a number, but JavaScript take it as a number. Other programming languages like Python and other languages like C++ actually take these numbers, like this number will taken as a floating point number, but JavaScript render all of these kind of numbers as a number. So this is the very good feature of JavaScript, that you don't have to memorize which is a floating point, which is a decimal point. So you just learn one data type of number, so you don't have to go deep in categories of these numbers. So there are a lot of ways you can declare a variable. You can declare a variable with the var keyword. And what actually the variable is actually a basic name of something and that have a value stored in it. Like if you have a credit card number and you have a very long number, so in the form of like string or whatever, so you don't have to remember this number again and again if you want to write this number again. So you can just call the variable wherever you want. Like if you want to print the variable in the console, you can do it with console.log and then just write credit card. You don't have to write again this code. Actually this code is complex to remember, but this code is not complex to remember. you can use the credit card again and again, and it is very easy. Another cool feature is the credit card, or sorry, a variable is actually, once you have multiple lines of code and you wrote the variable name again and again, and here is this my variable value. So let me show you first what is happening. So this is the index.html page, and actually it's gonna open in Opera web browser. So let's wait. Actually I just installed an antivirus, so that's why it installed Opera. So just take a look on the console by pressing inspect element. Wait for it. This is our console. You see we printed 3 times the, as here we printed 3 times our credit card number. But if you want to change this P with Y, so how can you do this? It's very simple. You come here and you just remove it by, or replace it with Y, this P variable, P word. So once you again refresh, all the values are changed at once. So remember, if you don't have this variable here, and you have this string actually, and so this is the string, and you have on very 500 lines of code, and you have these strings are on you have the these strings, the values are on 500 lines or on 300 lines. Then what will happen, actually it won't be changed, the output will be same. And if you want to change the value 10 to 11, you can do 11 and then come here to 11 and then come here to 11. So you have to change each and every line if you want to change the value of your credit card. So you have to do this, and it is known as hard work. Okay, so you have to do a smart work. So you don't have to do hard code, you have to do a smart code. That's why here we use variables. Now we can declare variables with many other types, many other keywords like let and const. So these both we can use to declare a variable. So but today we are just focusing on these basic syntax, and it will be fine if you are getting trouble in it. Everything will be okay when while you practice these things. The programming is not just understood by watching tutorials. It is actually understood by doing things like these, like I'm doing it here. So you have to do the work after watching the tutorial. Just pause the tutorial, go to your file without looking on the tutorial or the cheat sheet. Just try to do this, and if you get any problem, Google that problem, and if you can't get the real answer, you can again watch the tutorial and do that thing again. So this is the way to learn coding. You don't have to just go through from the playlist, and it's actually a loop in your head, and after watching all the tutorials you will forget everything. So you have to practice. So this is a very bonus tip for you. And so now, as you know, so this is and let's see another example of variables. So I have a variable with a keyword. So we are going to declare a variable using a var keyword. So here is my variable var, and then I am going to, so I have a variable. I'm going to declare a variable with var. That name, the variable is, the name is, variable name is name. So it's quite confusing. Let me write my channel name, the quick code, like so. And remember to always put this semicolon after completing your statement of JavaScript. So it's a good practice. If you just enter here, it will JavaScript will render it as a semicolon. So I actually like to put the semicolon. It makes my code look more professional, and sometimes it's a good way to make your JavaScript a little bit faster. So I have wrote my channel name. So this is my channel name, the quick code. Now here is something like console.log. The short way of writing console.log is very simple. You just have to write log and press enter, so it will write console.log. And I'm going to put like this statement. So anything that is coming inside a quotation is known as a string. So I'm writing a string. The name of my channel is space, and I should not write. Okay, that's good. And put a operator here of plus operator, and then I'm going to use a variable. Now you see that my variable is actually not in quotation mark because it's a variable, so we don't have to use a variable inside a quotation. And this is a string, so you have to write the string inside a quotation. Now what will happen, this value, this statement will be concatenate with the name, and the name is actually this value. So let me check it. So you can see the name of my channel is the quick code. So you can actually see here, if I just put like this thing inside a quotation, now the name is print as it is. So this is a variable, so keep it in mind. Don't you dare to put the quotation marks or whatever you want to say. So double quotation or single quotation will render it as it is. Now one more thing, if you want your 1 minute, yeah, if you want to print the quick code inside quotation marks, so it's very simple. You can just do like 1, and I think so it will work. And again like so. So now it will be inside quotation, single quotation. So how it is actually working, it is actually writing this one and this one, and then concatenating it with the name, and name is coming inside these two quotations. So I know it's a bit complex syntax, so you don't have to remember it. This will come with passage of time. Another thing that you can do is use template strings. So template strings are ES6 way of writing, and it will make your code much easier to understand. Now you can write again that code without using plus. So this is the power of template strings. So okay, now I am going to use these two, and then I'm going to write $, and whatever comes inside it will be rendered as expression, like so. And once I refresh it, you can see both outputs are same. Now why both outputs are same? Actually this is easier to understand, and this is not easier to understand. So it's very complex. But here we are using a template string. That is a new feature in JavaScript introduced in 2015, and this is very good feature, and I really appreciate this feature to write complex concatenation method. So this that we have done here using a plus sign is actually concatenating one string to another string. So it's actually a string. This name variable has the data type of string. So if you really don't know, you can check it like type of, and then you can write type of name, so it will tell you it's a string. Okay, so that's the power of JavaScript. So today's topic is covered. If you have any question regarding to string number, concatenation, and how the var keyword is working here, what is the meaning of var? The meaning of var is variable. So you are going to declare a variable. Then you have to give the name of the variable, whatever you want to like I can say channel name, okay. So you can say channel name, okay, or whatever you want to write the code as it is. So it's totally up to you, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thanks for watching this tutorial.